You home? I screwed up. I totally forgot our lunch. I'm so sorry.
Working on the murder case you already solved. Don't.
I will make it up to you, I swear.
I don't want you to make it up to me. I want to know what's actually going on.
I've been distracted, I know.
We've been together 5 years, Alex. I know you. I know you like your coffee black. You hit the snooze button twice on Sundays because that's your version of sleeping in. And I know you love your job just like I do. But lately, it's like I don't even recognize you.
I told you, I'm sorry, it's just work.
Just work, yes, I've heard that song before, and I'm not buying it, Alex. Working around the clock, forgetting things, not wanting to come home to me at night.
I do want to come home to you.
I know, so why aren't you?
There's a guy out there who's doing some really bad things to people. He's on the loose and he knows we're after him.
Do we need to get a squad out front?
No, it's nothing like that. This guy may have had a hand in Taka's mother's death, and I'm just trying to help. It's just a few extra hours of work. It's the least I can do. He's my partner, for God's sakes.
What are you talking about? His mother's death. It was the girlfriend. You told me so that night. His people confirmed it on the news over and over.
It's not that simple, Christy. I wish I could say more, but I can't, you know that.
You know what? Maybe I'm the problem here.
What does that mean?
It means maybe you have one too many partners for now. I'm gonna get some sleep.
Christy, no, don't walk away.
Great. Lovely, you two. Well, they started. Try to play the situation, obviously, and just try not to chase the text. Yeah? Try not to chase it. And if you don't want to touch, don't touch. Yeah? Like, don't say, like, oh, I better do some indicating touching.
Yeah.
No, don't. Let's not. Mm-hmm. There's the big transition, which is the guy out making trouble, isn't there? Mm-hmm. Isn't there? So the first 2/3 seems relationship, yeah, is it? Mm-hmm. How much do you think this guy outside bugging you is affecting you in the first third in the relationship part?
Well, it's kind of the crux of our relationship, I figure, is that I keep prioritizing my very important secret work, but right now it actually is really important and is really secret to me. Like, it's gotten so important I can't look away from it. Mm-hmm. That's what I got from it. But it comes at the same time where she's, it's sort of the last straw for her, so that the timing is really awful. I always prioritize work.
In relationship to her?
Yeah.
Because
I find it very important and very interesting. But it seems that it's become more life and death.
But why do you prioritize it for her in terms of the relationship?
Over her?
Well, I don't know what, yeah, like what? I don't quite get that. So the work's extremely important to you. Mm-hmm. But then how you relate it to her is what?
I'm just not showing up for her. I'm not around.
But you're not doing that consciously. Or that's just what is happening.
That is what is happening. I'm not doing it on purpose.
Right.
I'm aware, I've become aware that it's gotten dicey and I'm doing it too much, but right now I just can't stop working because it's so important right now.
And did you want to tell her about the guy? Like when you come in, would you have not told her?
I'm doing it just to try and save the relationship, I
But are you doing it at that moment, or when you came in? If we play this, could you play this situation and not tell her? Or did you know you were going to tell her? I'm just saying, does it blurt out? I call it a blur. Does it happen then, in that moment? Or was it something as you came in the door? It's like, it's something you're going to tell her.
I'm not going to tell her, but then it becomes a bargaining chip, I figure.
And
I
then
have to give her something.
Well, you want to know when it comes to your mind to be a bargaining chip, don't you?
Right.
Otherwise, it's general.
Yeah.
Otherwise, then it just comes and then you say it because it's that point in the scene.
Yeah, yeah. I need to know why, right in that moment, I have to say it.
Well, there's so many ways. Okay, like if I have something, let's call it news, I have to, either I'm not going to tell you at all, and if it comes out, I have to find out how it comes out and when. Because it can come out you could say 100 different ways, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You with me?
Yeah.
So we want to be very specific how it comes out. So does it slowly build to come out as she pushes you? Is it fuck it? Did you always have that as a card, like an ace in your pocket? So you know what I'm saying? Because otherwise we play general, like I kind of do this, and I'm not criticizing your playing. I kind of do this, I kind of do that, and then I have the transition because it's written the transition. Main thing is don't chase the scene. And don't do any stuff that you think is there in the scene. Let's explore. And overall, what we're always saying is have the experience. That's the practice means have the experience. And we practice and practice and practice, and then you assimilate. That's a breakthrough. Then it's habit. So we're practicing to develop habits, and you cannot push to get a habit. You can't, because that's truly, truly true. This is very different from auditioning and shooting. I think there's lots of work needs to be done by all of us. Like, how do we practice? So take it easy, have your experience, and as always, which actors never do, you can stop if you want.
Christine, you home? No, I screwed up. I completely forgot our lunch.
Working on the murder.
Okay. So you stop to greet her. You're at home. You don't want to keep living. You don't have to stop to act. That was pretty cool.
I was
wasn't
about
it?
to eat a strawberry and I was like, oh, the
Till
scene's
the
starting.
acting on the spot.
They look really good. I wanted the whole time.
Huh?
I wanted to eat strawberries.
See what you're doing. Don't go to play the scene. I don't know if you did, but anyway, try to keep living.
Okay.
Go back and do that. I think it's nice you're caught just with the blue thing and the strawberries on the move over. Do what you just did as you went to start it.
Christine, home? I screwed up. I completely forgot our lunch.
Working on the murder case you already solved. Don't.
Well, I'm just going to stop and I'm not blocking or directing at all. But is it interesting to stay there and she comes behind you, like that you don't turn to look at her? Or do you want to?
I didn't like it.
I didn't think so. Just don't then. Why don't you stay with the strawberries and not talk? Like not turn.
Yeah.
And if she touches you, and then it's so great, don't, isn't it?
Yeah.
Christine, home? I screwed up. I completely forgot our lunch.
Working on the murder case you already solved.
So sorry.
Don't. So how are you gonna make it up to me this time?
Promise I will.
I don't want you to make it up to me. I want to know what's actually going on.
I know. I've been distracted.
We've been together 5 years, Alex. I know you. I know you like your coffee black. You hit the snooze button twice on Sundays because that's your version of sleeping in. And I know you love your job, just like I do. But lately, it's like I don't even recognize you.
I told you. I'm sorry.
Go again.
It's just
Start
work.
that speech again, Jessica. Are you pissed off on that? Or are you just running through the list, getting it off your chest? What is it? Start again. I think where that comes from. Start that speech again.
We've been together 5 years, Alex. I know you. I know you like your coffee black. You hit the snooze button twice on Sundays because that's your version of sleeping in. And I know you love your job, just like I do. But lately, it's like I don't even recognize you.
I told you. I'm sorry. It's just
Yeah, just work, yeah. I've heard that song before, Alex. And I'm not buying it. Working around the clock, forgetting things, not wanting to come home to me at night.
I do want to.
I know. So why aren't you?
There's a guy who's doing some really bad things to people. He's on the loose, and he knows we're after him.
Do we need to put out a squad of that?
No, it's not like that. This guy, he may have had a hand in Taka's mother's death. And I'm just trying to help. A few extra hours on the job. He's my partner, for God's sakes.
What are you talking about? His mother's death? It was the girlfriend's. You told me so that night. Your people confirmed it on the news over and over.
It's not that simple, Christy. I wish I could tell you more, but I can't. You know that.
You know what? Maybe I'm the problem here.
What does that mean?
It means maybe you have one too many partners for now. I'm gonna get some sleep.
Don't you walk away from me.
Okay. Good. Good. Lovely, you two. Yeah. Any thoughts?
I forgot to lie, so then we had a really long pause, and that was kind of interesting. Thank you for jumping in.
Yeah.
But I liked just feeling that out, that silence where, as an actor, I didn't know what was supposed to happen. For me, it was interesting to just like see where we were at with
Yeah.
each other and play the silence.
There was also another part where I got into my head because the mic fell down as I was saying my speech, and then I was like, just keep going. But it was still there, so I couldn't ignore it. And then the speech was over, and I'm like, did I do it right?
So you're like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
Well, I like both comments. I like the comment about the time of the line, because it means being in this situation and just practicing is what we're really doing. When we say a line, we don't say a line. Like, that's not the main thing. So that's a real good professional level to be at. The main thing is I'm in the space with you. It don't really matter what's going on, because being in the space is really the practice. I might speak, or I might just stay here for 5 minutes, and then I look at him and I can tell he's fine with that too. Right? Isn't it? Yeah. That's so beautiful. Yeah, lovely, you two. Great. I'm only going to move on just I guess because of time tonight. Good. You guys want to say anything?
Well, that specifically for this scene, that silence was so perfect because this is a conflict between partnership. You guys have been together forever, and it really feels like that is the. Are you guys gonna jump off this ledge? Is that what's gonna happen here? Like, it just was so true to the circumstance, and it was really cool watching each of you deal with it. It's like, oh, you're gonna say something that's gonna save this? Oh, are you gonna say something that's save this? Like, both of you was waiting for the other to pick up the line, but also save the relationship potentially. Just cool to watch.
Yeah. Because I think in normal day life for myself, if I was in the situation, I don't think there'd be talking right away. Like, there would be a lot of quiet between most of those lines too.
Sure.
But then it's also like in the actual scene in the show, they're not gonna drag it out like that.
Well, I'm not jumping on you, but I would just encourage it. I think what we do in class, because we're always seeing how much time we can take.
Yeah.
Because this is something that all the actors are dealing with. We want it, so I would encourage, like, you take time and take more time. Generally, the actors do not take more time. So in some exercises I do, we encourage that, take more time. Anyway, so I'm not jumping on you, but you could have, because we're not shooting,
Yeah.
right? It's just interesting,
And that's
isn't
like
it? I know.
the habit that you have built in your head.
I know.
yeah, it's like hurry.
But in all due,
Yeah.
but in all due respect, sometimes we just can't hang on to old narratives. You can't hang on to old narratives all the time. It's sometimes you say, you know what, that narrative, that's it. I'm now going to look at it and deal with it, and that's stopping. So I'm not saying you're a kid, but like kids hang on to narratives. So I'm not saying you're a kid at all. I'm not saying what you should do. But for all of us, there's times along the way you've got to get rid of the old narratives. Like, well, yeah, I know what the narratives is, so we're like, oh, yeah, and so now it's done. No, it could be, oh, yeah, but at some point. And it's not psychotherapy that way. It's being a professional actor. Yeah?
Yeah. You have to start breaking the habits.
You have to.
Actually doing things to break the habits, because
Yeah.
it's not going to fix itself.
We gotta watch
one
even
time.
how we repeat the narrative. Like, I always do that, because sometimes, I sometimes just kvetch. I just say it, but I actually don't mean it. So I say shit,
Yeah.
but I actually don't mean that in my practice. But I still say the blah, 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 blah. And that's the difference too.
Yeah.
Cool. Anybody else on the comment? But the work's lovely, I think.
I didn't even realize you forgot the line. Or I thought you were just living in the space, and I totally believed that tension being built.
Good, that's good. We should remember that. Never to forget.
Well,
And then for me, what happened, what was interesting after that happened, and we kind of fell into the scene more, what it started to feel like to me was that we've said these same things to each other so many times. We've played this game so many times. And it was just a power play between us, and the lines didn't matter. That's how it started to feel, which was cool.
Yeah, it would be cool to do it one time, not saying anything,
Absolutely. Yeah.
because the same thing would come across.
Mhm.
I think,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe new things would come out too.
Yep. Great. You want to say anything? Anybody else?
I heard a line at the end that I didn't hear the first pass when you were like, you left and you were like, don't leave, don't walk away from me. I was just like, what was that even in the, like there was just so many more, layers and then like after that pause, then it was great because you guys were in this 2-shot and to just be able to see both what was happening, but also that you weren't looking at each other. And like when I fight with my husband, I'm not looking at him most of the time because I'm like, you can fucking know by the back of my ear that, you know, it's like I don't need to. So yeah, it was great. We don't fight that much. It's just for the sake of the story.
None of us fight very much, you see. I remember once years ago. And I think it's fair to say, isn't it, that they actually don't work in the scene that much. You know, like it's not that so much time. So I think it works really nice. Good, you two.